we've been using the term safe harbor rules. The safe harbor rules are really the revenue rulings that the IRS has come out with. And revenue rulings are the IRS's position on how they want these laws to be implemented. And in 2002, there were two major revenue rulings that came out, 2002-90 and 2002-89. And this gave us a roadmap, a blueprint of how the IRS wanted these companies to be formed, and indirectly how they wanted the companies to be managed as far as best practices. So we have some definite guidelines, some definite blueprints on how these programs should be put together. And from a conservative point of view, you follow these, and these programs work. It's where you try to push the envelope that people get into trouble. And Brian mentioned earlier, as far as the capitalization, most of the companies that we are working with are capitalized at $150,000, maybe $250,000. Years ago, some of the captive managers on the fringes would try to set up these companies and capitalize them for $5,000 or $10,000. That dog doesn't hunt. That doesn't work. And so as long as you follow these guidelines, you're going to be within a position of having a program that is legitimate and works in the eyes of the IRS. I just wanted to make that comment. So,
yeah, I mean, it definitely helps towards the overall fact pattern. I would agree with that, Howard. You know, on that Rule of 12 test, as you mentioned, I mean, these are safe harbors. At case law, as I mentioned, you could probably go down to 7 entities. And I've even seen some private letter rulings that have went down to 4 or 5 entities with concentration up to around 40, 50% of premium in one entity. But most managers, if you are setting up a captive, will try to meet the safe harbor, and some will go down to the case law. I think once you start getting below that and trying to look at the PLRs, and you're definitely into that gray, if not aggressive area. Now, the other way, you know, a lot of customers aren't going to have multiple entities. In fact, I would say 85, 90% of our customers, that they don't have multiple entities. They are going to have to meet risk distribution in some other fashion. Well, the other safe harbor says that 51% of the premium can come from unrelated third-party sources. Now, again, this is a safe harbor, and you know, and one point, and you can go down to case law here again. The Harper case goes down to 29% of third-party premium could also meet risk distribution. Now, generally, to meet this safe harbor, you will be in a risk-sharing pool, which we'll talk about here momentarily. Now, some customers may actually have a coverage that is third-party premium that they write. I'll give you some examples. Manufacturers may sell a product and they offer a warranty to the customer. That warranty cannot be embedded. The customer has to pay separate consideration. We have to look at state laws. But that is something that could be third-party premium so that a customer does not have to be in a risk-sharing pool. We have customers in the real estate business that have large tenants that have big deductibles on their general liability and property. They can actually pass those deductibles on to their tenants, and that is a third-party premium as well. We have transportation clients that have owner-operators who are paying their bobtail liability, maybe auto liability deductibles, cargo liability deductibles. Their owner-operators will pay that premium into the captive. That is third-party premium as well. So, again, there's a lot of creativity